So please free me, God, let me find solutions. Don't let these calluses from work just be a nuisance. Tight grip on the moment, no slack, no give, no looseness. Trusting in myself.
Yo, what's good, CriTiC? Click, click. Army, what's good? How you guys feeling on this Saturday? Hope you guys are feeling good. You know, my quarantine just started. Just got laid off, you know. Feeling great about it. Yeah, man, just trying to hold it together, trying to maintain and make sure I got enough money, and hopefully I can survive. I don't have no type of weapons for like any sort of invasion or nothing, so bro, if you know where I live, you got me. Especially if you're watching this video. I exposed myself just now. You got me. But yo, this is the explain to outro ego. So this is where you find out how stupid I am. This is where you find out how much that I got wrong, and you can go in the comments and let me know and laugh at me. Hopefully I got a good amount of it, seeing that my reaction was like 40 minutes long trying to explain. But I was just trying to explain what I thought the ego was in my eyes, in my view. But yeah, let's check this out.
We're now going to progress to some steps which are a bit more difficult. Ready, set, and begin.
That was so dope. I wish I knew how to make really dope lyric videos, and just, I don't know, man, like video editing like that, it always looks so dope.
The intro sequence you've just seen is the intro BTS used for their debut trailer, Intro Too Cool for School. Then you see BTS's music videos rolling down from recent to the past. You can already see that this song is going to be a story from the past to the present. Also, what if I said ego is very similar?
Wow, so don't spoil nothing for me, man, because I have not dug into the past. I have not dug into the past. Do not spoil anything, bro.
With BTS's other song, Love Myself, and that also ego is like the ultimate wrap-up for the whole Jungian psyche theory, which I'll explain throughout and at the very end of the video. So J-Hope tries to go back to his past self, but as he tries to walk in the opposite direction of hope and ego signs, which are his current self, it's as if he's walking on a treadmill. He realizes that time only flows forward and there are no ifs in life. In short, you can't change your past.
Alright, so I think I kinda got that. What I said was he was walking this way. You know, he keeps saying that he's given up, and to the media yesterday where I'm giving up and think that there's no future. That's why he was walking this way in the opposite direction of my way and my ego and hope. But he's saying that they said that he's running away from his past, which makes a lot of sense.
But as he tries to walk in the opposite direction of hope and ego signs, which are his current self, it's as if he's walking on a treadmill. He realizes that time only flows forward and there are no ifs in life. In short, you can't change your past. J-Hope suddenly faints, which might be a reference transition borrowed from his symptom in 화양연화, and talks about how he remembers the good old days. How the devil always whispered, "Do you want to go back and become normal?"
Spoiler alerts! Nah, but that's pretty dope that they're connecting these music videos like that, man. Who's doing that?
Feigning symbolizes his daily tantrum to his inner self, wanting to be treated as a patient who's tired and hurt of his current life.
I don't know about that, man. That's not what I got from that. That he wants to be treated like a patient. At least what I got from it is that he was saying he's got a mental illness like anxiety, and that it's ruining what he's got going on with the whole idolized, being idolized and being an idol type thing. It's making him question that. But I mean, I see where they're coming from. He could be saying that he feels like a victim, so he feels like a patient, but then once he realizes and looks into the screen, seeing how much love and how much joy he has, it wakes him back up. Like, why am I victimizing myself? But I think that goes both ways. I think that's saying, like, once he feels like a victim and has all this anxiety, once he realizes how much love and joy he gets from being an idol, it smashes through all that anxiety.
Tantrum to his inner self, wanting to be treated as a patient who's tired and hurt of his current life. However, even in the inside, he reassures himself on how much love he receives from armies and how much joy he has due to his status, and then snaps back to reality from his daily time slip of what if. Basically, he's like,
damn, this job sucks. I got no privacy. I have to fly around all these places, practice every single day, can't even go to the movies. I miss the good old days. But yeah, I guess I'm lucky. Look at all the love I'm receiving from Army and all the good stuff I get to buy and experience compared to all the other people in the world. So let's not complain, it won't go back to normal anyways.
Now J-Hope finally accepts that his past and present were his choice, and he returns to his journey and goes on forward. This road is the map of the soul, which has trust, hope, myself, ego, and my way on its way.
Okay, see? I could not find all of that. But the only thing I found was hope and ego. And I thought it said trust all of myself. But what was the middle?
Trust.
A map of the soul.
Hope, myself, ego, and my way on it.
So it says map. Why would they do that? Why would they make the A super big compared to the M? They're gonna make me think that the word starts with A. Jeez. Of the soul. Dude, you can barely see that L there, bro. What? What?
Trust, hope, myself, ego, and my way on its way.
Yo, his like bubbly personality just rubs off on you. Like, you see this man smile and like, how do you not feel some sort of like, yeah, maybe life's okay.
Once he accepts the fact that it was all his choice and there's no regret and that the future is shining, the music turns into a very bright celebrative African or samba feel rhythm. The constant blinking of J-Hope represents how many layers the human soul can have. You can see that he's happily dancing with his persona, shadow, and ego. Here we can see that Army is a part of him too by seeing the stars and the color purple used as the background.
Wow, I didn't even catch that. Also, this is supposed to be like stars. Oh, that's dope. I thought they were just lights. Bro, that's dope. So it's supposed to symbolize like starlight. Wow.
Actually, while analyzing the song, I found out that there are a lot of similarities with the song Love Myself. And I'll tell you the similarities throughout the rest of the video.
Spoiler alerts, bro. I'm like, this isn't from the song. Spoilers. What is this?
Some more things to notice. If you rotate the road's typography, it reads 길로 this way in Korean. Also, you can notice that the car plate says BTS and their debut date. Plus, the speed limit indicates 7, which might mean let's not go too fast, let's go all together.
Come on, bro. Map of the Sevens. It's Map of the Soul 7. Come on, man. You're not gonna say that? You're gonna make me look dumb? Map of the Soul 7. I get it that they might be saying, like, take it easy. You know, you only got one life, but come on, bro. It's the highway number 7. Map of the Soul 7.
Let's not go too fast, let's go all together.
That's not a speed limit, bro. It's not a speed limit.
Then J-Hope thinks about the life as Chung Ho-seok before J-Hope. He realizes that there would have been only regret without hope. Hope as in double meaning, J-Hope and hope. As much as Chung Ho-seok loved dancing, which was also his dream, if there was no J-Hope, he would have questioned his existence. Then he comically gasps, shuddering to that thought, and shows funny pictures of himself as several gods. So in this part, J-Hope is appreciating both Chung Ho-seok that loved dancing purely and J-Hope that made that passion and skill fruitful and recognizable. He confesses in the lyrics that now all the concerns have finally came out of his mouth and have been relieved. In the meantime, we can see Hope Records change into Hope's Record. The music he had inside him, which he had planned, has officially become a record, a legacy. You can spot all of his works on the window pane.
I didn't even see that. That's dope.
Of his works on the window pane. One hope, one soul, one smile, and one you. These are all factors that compose J-Hope. It's the unchangeable himself. And the you in that sentence is obviously ARMY. Oh, and don't miss the chickens from Chicken Noodle Soup. Then we enter the tailor shop, which is obviously a reference from the movie The Kingsman. In Kingsman, the main character Eggsy is basically a nobody that suddenly is chosen to become a secret agent.
What? This is a reference to Kingsman? What? Bro, these videos are insanely deep then. Because if I was supposed to catch that, man, I've seen Kingsman plenty of times.
Obviously, ARMY. Oh, and don't miss the chickens from Chicken Noodle Soup. Then we enter the...
Oh, wow. So you guys told me about this song, Chicken Noodle Soup. I need to check this out.
The tailor shop, which is obviously a reference from the movie The Kingsman. In Kingsman, the main character Eggsy is basically a nobody that suddenly is chosen to become a secret agent because of his potential and eventually ends up saving the world. The hardships of training, choice of abandoning normal life, responsibility, persona are all in common with J-Hope's situation. As J-Hope thinks a normal Chung Ho-seok kid is now kind of like having an impact near to saving the world with music and message. Also, here's another reference from Love Myself.
I can see where you're going with that. But I don't know, man.
In this scene, J.
You're spoiling things for me. Stop. Gosh, this sounds amazing, and I'm not supposed to hear this stuff yet. God.
Hope is looking into the mirror again with the recycled questions, but decides to stop and move away from it, and embraces his choices and shadow as well.
Right, that's why he has on a new suit. That's why he went to the store to get a new suit. He's saying he's found himself. And J-Hope. I don't know about the Kingsman theory, my guy.
And here we have J-Hope confidently going into the maze and saying wherever he goes is his way. All he has to do is trust himself in the maze.
What is going on?
Welcome to the world, new Jolly Rancher gummies.
J-Hope says that wherever he went, it became his destiny and center. Hardships and sadness were all precious because he got to know himself. Now let's hear the equivalent of this part from Love Myself Again. Also in this part, J-Hope seems to be entering the future now.
What? Personally, I don't think the car moving in the opposite direction of the signs has significant... Can't read, man. You expect me to read? Okay, to save you guys the pain, I'm not going to read this. You guys can pause. I've read it, but you guys can pause and read it.
And there's no going back because he has already accepted every part of him as his ego. Here comes the tricky part.
The video was so good, I just wanted to say, man, like look how visually stunning it looks. God. So beautiful. Beautiful.
Now here comes the tricky part. In a timeline, this Blade Runner themed place is definitely the future. But the space or dimension in spatial terms would be the center of J-Hope. Let's call it the ego city. So his whole journey of Map of the Soul was to find the center and ego of himself. This city is his fully formed ego as a mature being. Now about Carl Jung's psyche and Map of the Soul. I don't want to be too...
Bro, that is deep as, oh my goodness. That is so deep. That is so deep, bro. That city is supposed to be his ego finally formed. That's deep, man.
Psyche and Map of the Soul. I don't want to be too technical here about the Jungian theory and psyche and all, so I'll try to be true to the music video as possible. Basically, it all sums up with this model figure. First, we have to start with the outer world. J-Hope as he is now, which would be his consciousness and persona. Then he goes through all the inner conflicts and hops on the car and goes towards the ego. Now the ego is in short self-consciousness, or the sense of I, known to develop over time throughout.
Bro. Are you telling me that they drove through the map of the soul? Through the map of the psyche? They drove... He went from the beginning was the outer world and went... Are you serious? That's insane.
On the car and goes towards the ego. Now the ego is in short self-consciousness, or the sense of I, known to develop over time throughout life, composed of additional layers that help you define yourself. You may get to know who you are, your values, your preferences, and etc. Basically, it means knowing yourself. Second, the only scene J-Hope is found indoors is when he's in the tailor shop. So let's take this literally. He's in his inner world. Conveniently, there's a mirror, which is frequently used as a picture to depict the animus anima. Also, he opens a secret back door, a shelf, or maybe let's call it a...
Wait, what? The animus anima? I didn't learn this part. Hey, BTS, where's my animus anima song? There probably is a song too, watch. You guys are gonna comment. It's right here, you stupid idiot.
J-Hope is found indoors is when he's in the tailor shop. So let's take this literally. He's in his inner world. Conveniently, there's a mirror, which is frequently used as a picture to depict the animus anima.
What? So I guess the animus is the unconscious masculine side of a female, and the anima is the unconscious feminine side of a male. It's very, see, that's why there's a guy here looking at a mirror and there's a girl he sees in the mirror. Which is very interesting. I've never heard of such a thing.
Frequently used as a picture to depict the animus anima. Also, he opens a secret back door, a shelf, or maybe let's call it a closet. So I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but considering the fact that the animus anima is basically tied to sex roles and gender identity,
the shadow breaks up into the anima and the animus, and the anima is the female inside the male, so to speak, and the animus is the male inside the female. And Jung believed that he could see those partial spirits manifesting themselves in people's behavior. And women, for example, could find the capacity to be aggressive and assertive because that's part of what they threw out during their course of development because of its a priori categorization as inappropriate behavior.
Maybe I'm stretching, but yeah, the message is to love and accept yourself, whoever you are. So I think there might be a possibility that the scene is actually implying gender identity. And also, behind the hidden shelf or closet, there is a dark lit space, which would obviously be the shadow inside him, similar to the space behind the door in Suga's interlude, Shadow. As I said before, the dancing space with festival vibes, rapid blinking, and...
That is interesting. If that is true, that is like what he meant there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty deep, man. I tell you what, I would have never got that though. Never. Ever.
or closet, there is a dark lit space, which would obviously be the shadow inside him, similar to the space behind the door in Suga's interlude, Shadow. As I said before, the dancing space with festival vibes, rapid blinking, and a circle light with a shadow would be the self. The self, in short, is the union of the consciousness and unconscious. According to Carl Jung, the ultimate goal of the individuation process is the realization of the self. Jung said, in order to attain individuation, you need to understand and...
This circle growing over here is giving me anxiety. I just wanted to tell you that. Just wanted to let you guys know.
In order to attain individuation, you need to understand and acknowledge every part of yourself, especially the unconscious, starting from the shadow, animus anima, and also the persona as well. For your info, the self is often depicted in shapes that represent totality, like a circle or the Tai Chi diagram with yin and yang, light and darkness. The self also might appear in forms of dreams, myths, and fairy tales as a superior personality, such as, for example, a king, a hero, a prophet, or maybe a god, which would explain the gods in the MV. So this space portrays that once you find yourself, you are truly happy, and the blinking means that the persona, ego, shadow, anima, animus all coexist. Last but not least, we're...
Whoa. See? That's freaking amazing. That's deep. I love that. The fact that he's blinking and it's showing all the layers of yourself. That is so awesome.
That the persona, ego, shadow, anima, animus all coexist. Last but not least, where J-Hope arrives with his car in the futuristic city setting is the fully formed adult ego that is virtualized and constructed in the future as your center. In this state, you are aware of who you are. Now, some might question, according to the diagram, why is the ego the final destination, not the self? I'm no psychology major, but here are my 2 cents. First of all, Jung stated that the ego can be assimilated by or to the self. Accordingly, the ego has a high contribution on the formation of self. Plus, well, if you're going to live on with your life, you'll belong to the outer world in the conscious realm. Of course, the shadow and unconscious coexist inside you, but it's technically a darkness inside you. So even if I were BTS, I would recognize the shadow and unconsciousness, but promote and prefer the ego to be the final destination. Another probability is that the word ego is commonly substituted by the word self. In fact, in Korean, ego and self share the same word, cha. And this word cha is also shown in J-Hope's Ego City as a signboard. To go a little bit more deeper, Freud, who formally introduced the notion of ego, divided the psyche into three parts: the ID, ego, and superego. And in this model, in brief, the ID was instinct, and ego was the sense of reality, balance between desire and reality, and the superego was the moral, ideal you. So logically, the ego would be the self-conscious self that would prevent you from being an animal or criminal, but also help you get what you desire. So my guess is that the realization of the ego can be seen as a good pursuit or goal for yourself in real life. Well, I must admit that the psychology part was...
So I've explained what I think ego is in the last video from just what people have told me and things that I've read. I was reading a book on the ego. I don't know who was written by, but just some self-help books that I was reading.
My personal opinion, so psychology majors out there, help me in the comments. So let me conclude the whole thing for you. From who you were in the beginning, the good or bad choices you made, the path you took, the current you, and what is waiting for you in the future is all a part of you. You shouldn't be embarrassed of any part of your life or yourself.
See, I didn't really catch that whole timeline thing there. Like I don't know why, but I didn't catch the whole... In the beginning, he's walking away from his past. You know, he's going on a journey. He's in the car on a journey, and then he gets to his place in his city. I didn't catch all that, man. That's crazy. It's so dope how it's so well thought out everything is.
You shouldn't try to hide or deny it. All the regrets, confusions in your life are natural, but once you start to accept all of it and start truly loving yourself, at the end it will lead to a strong and stable center and form your ego. Simply, ego could just mean discovering yourself and loving yourself.
Right. That's definitely the vibe I got from it, you know, discovering yourself and loving yourself. Absolutely, that's absolutely the feeling that I got from that song. And I think that's honestly the feeling that I got from every song off this album. You know, it's all about discovering yourself, it's all about loving yourself, which is dope. Like, I love artists that are trying to help people with mental illness, man, because we need more artists like that out there. I'm excited to look into some more of the album. I need to check out the entire album. After this one, I think I'm going to go check out the On Explained to see what I missed there on the On video. And after that, I can go check out some more On performances, because I know they were on Jimmy Fallon. And there's another video that they have that I need to see. And the dance practices and all that. I'm going to get into all that stuff, Army. I'm going to be here for it. So you be here for it. I love y'all. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm almost at 2,000, man. I'm almost at 2,000 already. Man, you guys are the best. I cannot believe this, man. So, like I said, more BTS on the way. Make sure you stay tuned, stay cool, stay classy. Follow your dreams, man. I'ma always end it with follow your dreams, bro. Don't let fear control you. The best thing to do with your fears, man, is run straight at them. CriTiC out.